why do most people that venture into business fail?
There are quite a number of things that make those people fail in business. Number one, it's not because they don't have a vision, they have a vision, but they can't work their vision out. There are certain things that they have to consider first before they start working on the vision. Let's say you want to start a business on something that you want to sell. You just don't have to go and buy your stuff from the supplier and start selling. No. There are things that you have to do, that you have to put in order before you start selling. Because number one, your idea is there. And what we have to understand is not that the product is the most important, but we have to understand what exactly is a business. Because a business is an idea that has been able to sell. As long as the idea doesn't sell, it won't become a business. So it's an idea that is sold, and with that idea comes products and services. All those things we buy from suppliers, all those things we supply, all those things we do, they come with the idea. They come as a result of the idea, because you can't start selling tomatoes without the idea of selling tomatoes. It has to be an idea first, then it's set it upon, then you have to do it. So the other thing that makes people fail is that people do not know where to sell their products, who to sell their products, when to sell their products. So those are some of the things that are affecting people from succeeding in business. Because yes, you know your idea, but you do not know your product, you do not know your customer, you do not know the constituents. So if you don't know all those things, it means you are not yet versed with your business. Meaning to say, if you start selling without knowing those things, you are doing something that you don't do. So the probability of you succeeding in that business is very low, close to zero. You cannot succeed in what you don't know. Because you have to know that I'm selling tomatoes today. Where am I going to sell them? To whom am I going to sell them? Where am I going to get them? You have to know all those things before you start a business. You have to plan. Your business has to have a plan. What is it that you are doing this week? What is it that you are doing next week? Because remember that you have to market, you have to make sure that your brand becomes visible, so that people will come and buy from you. People will not come to buy from you if they don't know you. They have to know that Tendai supplies such a thing, then they will come. But if they don't know that you supply something, there's no way they are going to come and buy your product, unless by accident. But how many can buy from you accidentally? There are very few. There are very few. You can't have accidental customers the whole day from morning to evening. So you also have to make sure that you have a plan that has been put in place to market or to advertise your products. Yes, you have somewhere to sell them. People are coming, people will pass and they will see your product. They will like your product, they will buy your product. But you have to make sure that marketing is to sustain your business. Because marketing is the backbone of every business. Every business, if a business is to succeed, there has to be good marketing for the brand to be visible, so that it will be known out there. You might know your brand, you might know your product, but if those people out there do not know your product, do not know your brand, you are not going to succeed in business. Because in business you need those people out there. Those tomatoes you are selling, those services you are offering, you are offering those services because of those people. So you have to make sure those people out there are aware of what you are doing. They are aware of what you are saying. So if they are not aware of what you are doing or what you are saying, you'll be having a business, yes. That's when you say at the end of the day, I tried that, this doesn't work. Even if you see someone who's trying to do it, you are a very good, bad example of that. So you are going to tell that person, no, that thing doesn't work. I tried, it didn't work. But how did you try? That's the $1 million question. How did you try? How did you try? Because I am doing it this way. If I'm doing it in a different way to yours, it means I can succeed. You failed because you did it the way you did it. But you did not fail because you did it that way. Yes, it was a wrong way. But what made you fail is that you refused to learn from what you didn't succeed in. So in whatever situation that you come across, make sure you derive a lesson. A situation doesn't come to put you down. A situation comes only to show you that there is a missing ingredient that has to be added to what you are doing. So if you refuse to learn, if you refuse to take that lesson, then that will be end of your business. There's no way your business is going to go. Because you, the owner, have already refused to succeed. So the business does not succeed. And you know what? It is not about how good the product is. There are a lot of businesses out there. There are a lot of people out there who have very good quality products, but they are not selling. There's a reason why they are not selling. It's not because the economy is bad. It's not because the people doesn't have money. No, it is because of the mindset that is in possession of a product.
Okay, but wait, let me just ask something, right? Because you do find certain people that have the quality products, they've done their market research, they do their advertising, everything is on point. Or even, let me give an example of a social media influencer. They take quality content, the sound, everything is always on point, but then they're not getting the responses they need, like viewers, followers, how can I say, streams or whatever it may be. They're not getting the engagement. Let me rather say they're not getting the engagement they want, but they're doing everything correctly. Do we then say that person has something missing, or can you rather say that person needs to be patient and wait for the day or the time that thing will just click and they'll go for? Because there's many people who have everything is on point, but it's just not working.
You know, when you're in business, you don't have to wait for something to happen, but you have to make it happen. So if he sees that there's something that is not happening, it means he has found the problem. He has to work on that problem. Why is it not happening? It's not happening because people are coming to my shop. Why are they not coming to your shop? They don't know your shop. So what do you have to do? A market advertise. There are so many ways of advertising. Yes, most people prefer social media, internet, Facebook, what. But do you know that one-on-one is more powerful than all those online advertisements?
Well, why?
Social media and whatever. So one-on-one, when I say one-on-one marketing, I'm referring to a situation whereby you leave this place, you leave your house today, you leave your office today, you go out there, you look for clients. You yourself, you look for clients. Not through a phone, but you go, you visit, let's say you are targeting companies, you are targeting churches, you are targeting schools, whatever you are targeting. Make sure you go there in person. Approach those people. Tell them about your product. Because you know sometimes, yes, there might be a lot of people on social media. There might be a lot of people in our groups that we have created out of our business. But not all of them are going to buy from us. And not all of them are not going to support us. And not all of them are going to tell people about us. Very few of them. Because Number one, someone doesn't have time to read those messages on the group, especially those long ones, especially those ones that will be trying to explain much about the product. They don't have time to read that.
Even I wouldn't do that.
You see, that's the other thing. So most people think that if I have a group that is 1 million people, my business is okay. But that's not it.
That's not it.
Those are not clients. Those are not clients. Those are social media people. They are just following your group. Maybe they just want to see how it's done. Maybe they just want to see what you are doing. So you don't have to rely on social media. Rely on your one-on-one marketing. That's the marketing that produces results. Because you'll be going there, you tell the person the exact thing. That person will ask you a question and you answer there and there until that person is impressed. Because what makes a person buy your product is your knowledge in your product, which is called product knowledge.
Okay, you sell. Are you the product yourself?
Are you the product yourself? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know your product? Yes, if you know your product, then you are able to sell your product. You can convince anyone to buy your product because you know it. You are telling someone about a product that he doesn't know, and you are telling that someone in detail. Unlike on social media, because on social media you can just send one message. People will have to be having questions, and remember, in those groups you would have activated that admin only. You can't send a message. You can't ask a question. Admin only. Because I can't go to your inbox to ask a question that is on the group.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes, I might do that, but it's time consuming. There are some people who can't do that. Not because they don't want, but because they see it not fit. If you can't answer on the group, because there are also a lot of people who are asking the same question. They have to learn, they have to know. So they can't come to your inbox, all of them, and you answer them at once. So if it's a group, it's better you do that. You put an explanation and make sure your explanation leaves nothing to desire. But you won't know because you won't know what someone is going to ask. If I'm going to ask something, there's someone who's going to ask the same question, but you don't know that that person is going to ask the same question because you'll be waiting for someone to ask the same question so that you can see the response on the group. But if you don't put the response on the group, how is that person going to know? And that person is not going to buy from you. They won't buy from you. But you're in business. You have a million followers, but you don't have even one customer from that group. But you notice that if you do that one-on-one, that one is the most effective. And that one, I assure you that there will be what we call the word of mouth. The word of mouth whereby one buys and tells the other. There's this guy by the name this go there, he has this product, he has that product, he sell it this way, he sell it this way, it's like this is like this is like that. When you explain your product to someone else, it is as good as you have equipped someone with your knowledge that will make that someone your agent. So that if he refers someone to you, whatever question that the customer is going to ask, he is in a position to answer satisfactorily. And he has evidence that I have bought from you. I know this product. It's like this, it's like this, it's like this. But most businesses fail because we don't have customers. We don't have customers, and we don't want to get customers. Not that we don't know. We don't want, because everyone knows that I can go there and sell my product. Even if it's in my shop, I can even take a few samples to a certain place, a certain target. I go and demonstrate there. If I demonstrate there, it's guaranteed that I'm going to get 2 or 3 people who will buy from me. So imagine if I can get 2 or 3 people from going out in person. If I can get 2 or 3 people every day, how many people am I going to get after 7 days? 21. Let's say I'm selling something for 10 rand. 21 people times 10 rand. It's 210 rands in 7 days. I would have sold. Imagine these are sales that I got from my one-on-one marketing.
Yeah.
But there are walk-ins that are going to come to the shop.
Yeah.
There are people who now know about the shop.
Yeah.
They can come and buy. But getting 210 doesn't mean to say I have to stop there. I will have to keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If I get 21 today, next week I'm going to get 38. If I get 38, it means that I have to increase my stock. And for me not to waste money on transport, what do I have to do? I just have to put another branch where they are close to those customers, so that I can just come from that branch going there. I don't need transport money. Because to some extent I'm using more than 210 rands to get those people. Yes, at first it's worth because you are still starting. But if it continues like that, there's need to do a re-strategy. You have to stop, rethink, re-strategize, then attack.
Okay. So to get back to what is this? The using social media as a tool to reach people is the same thing like when you have a car, you can get to a certain place quicker, right? Like the analogy I'm using with the car, you can get to a certain place quicker. With social media, you can reach more people than as opposed to you going in person and talking to one there, talking to two there. So by the time maybe a post or an ad you would have reached how many people? Maybe 10,000 people. You would have spoken to maybe 20 people. But out of those 20 people, 10 or 15 would have bought. But through social media, you can engage with the 10,000 people, but only 5 will buy.
Yeah.
Which is why in-person marketing is still the best way to market. Let me say it's still the best way to market, but in the age that we're in right now, everyone thinks no, it's digital. Yes, digital works, but to a certain extent. Because many people can engage and say, oh, I like this, but then are they going to click? Are they going to get to the cart and put their payment details and buy? No. But personally, I would rather use social media because they're walking around talking to people.
Yeah, no, it's not bad to use social media.
Yeah.
It's very good to use social media because there are some people you can start there on social media.
Yeah.
Because there might be some people in a, let's say we are 3 of us are in your group.
Yeah.
We stay in somewhere like 35 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
Then we ask you, my guy, do you have a branch this side? And you say, no, I don't have a branch.
Yeah.
What I can do, I can come there. I can bring you products if you want products.
Yeah.
I can bring them to you just to order online. That's the advantage of social media. It's good. It's very good. It's very good. But you don't have to rely 100% on social media. Unless that social media is what is giving you money. But if you have a product inside a shop or inside the house that needs to be sold, I think if you go around as well, social media is good. One-on-one is good as well. Because you will be able to convince and explain the product to the customer until the customer understands your product very much in and out. Because a person cannot buy what he doesn't know.
That's true.
And if you don't know your product, even me, I'm going to doubt your product. I won't buy from you. Because I can't buy what you are selling what you don't know. So how can I buy something that you even don't know?
That is so true. Like with a lot of products online, most people sell them just to make money. They don't actually know their products. Like, oh, okay, I'm selling this protein shake. They know it's a protein shake. It will help you gain weight, but then to go deeper into detail, they don't really know. They're just doing it to get money, which is one of the things we see these days with a lot of people that do drop shipping or sell via e-commerce or online.
Because you know the advantage with this age is that there are a lot of people who know things.
Yeah.
So, but also there are a lot of people who don't know.
Yeah.
They need to be educated on something.
Oh, yeah.
For them to start buying online, they need to be taught.
Yeah.
So you can't teach them online because they don't have anything to go to be online, to use to access internet. So you have to go and meet those people, or you have to equip someone so that he can go and teach those people how it is done, so that they will know. It will be easy for you. On that day they get to know about your products.
Yeah.
They can just come to you. They can just order online. But someone doesn't know how to order online. Someone doesn't know what a hoodie is. So how is he going to buy a hoodie when he doesn't know a hoodie? But you have to go there and explain to them. And you know the other thing with social media, there are people that buy.
Yeah.
And if you don't advertise, and if people don't are not getting enough education on your product, there is a time that your sales will kind of like drop or stop, because those people would have acquired whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
So they are now waiting for those people to tear and wear so that they can buy new things.
Yeah.
But when is that?
That is true.
So every day you have to make sure that you are getting one or two clients, new clients, and new clients, because you don't have to rely on those old ones, because all those old ones might go somewhere, because now they know the product, they can now compare the prices. But there are people who doesn't know the product, those who just come and they don't know, they are looking for that product, they have been everywhere, they couldn't find that product. But the fact that you have met them, convince them, make them yours, sell the product. After selling the product, connect with them. How was the product? What can I do? Are you happy? So. That's what a customer wants. And that sustains the business as well.
Yeah.
And that will help you to lessen the expense on marketing.
Yeah.
Because you would have equipped, you would have taught someone who can even tell other people where it's coming from. That is why we end up having something like satellites.
Yeah.
A satellite is a branch, but it's not as big as a branch. It's not as established as a branch, but it's somewhere that people can access my product. That's a satellite. But with time, it can grow into a branch.
It makes sense, because have you noticed, like, people from the gym, like the sales reps at the gym, how they're able to, like, persuade sweet talk and stuff like that, because they understand that if we don't get people in every day, we're not gonna make money. Because the same people, maybe they have 100 customers. From those 100, probably 10, 20 are gonna leave. When they leave, what happens? Because I think they get paid based on their commissions and stuff like that. That's money coming out. So they have to be able to persuade people every single day, get people registered, signed up, because that's the form of the business. But I don't really see that as something, that has longevity in it. Like, in the long run, it's not really something you would want to do, where you have to persuade people every single day to get their interest. And now, what if we get to an age, like, things are developing, get to an age where you can order gymming equipment or rent it out. It comes to your house, you gym for 30 minutes to an hour, it goes back, just like how with Mr. D and all these things. So as things are changing, I think things like that will eventually, slow down.
This is what I was telling you comes in planning.
Planning, yeah.
You have to know what I'm doing today, what I'm doing tomorrow, what I'm doing on Thursday. As a human being, you have to have your 1 month plan, 3 months plan, 6 months plan, 1 year plan, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years plan. So in that plan, what is included in that plan are mostly those things that end with age.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself time to work, because you can't work the whole of your life. And even in companies, they have age limit. They can tell you to retire. Yeah, because you would have become of age.
Yeah.
You can't keep going there.
Yeah.
And they can't they won't tolerate you because you have reached the age, so you have to leave so that you can give space to the other.
Yeah.
So you have to plan your things. By 28, I must have done this. By 32, I would have invested such an amount.
Yeah.
By 40, I would have started my own company. By 45, I would have employed 60 people. That's a plan.
That's planning. Yeah.
And it has to be executed as it is. So if you don't have a plan, you think of working every day of your life. That's why you see most people who die employees. It's because of lack of a plan. Because if you have a plan, then if you have a plan, you know that I'm going to work for 5 years. After 5 years, I'm going to start my own business. After 5 years, I will be invested such an amount.
Yeah.
So by 5 years, I will be getting my interest. I'll be getting some money from whatever I would have invested. So if you don't have that plan, the only mindset that you have is to go and work. Because you are a professional welder, I have to go to work every day. But there shall come a time whereby you need to do your own thing. You need to invest. Because already you invested. You invested that skill of welding. You invested. It's an investment. But later, because you have practiced, you now know how it is done. You can start your own thing. Don't be afraid of starting small.
See what you're saying now? That is, I feel like, the breaking point for most people. That is the point where, it's either you make the decision to leave whatever you're doing and pursue what is in your plans and your visions and make it. So the problem is now most people have this thing where it's like, oh, I'm at a job right now, I'm getting paid. Me pursuing this thing, I don't have clients as yet. I'm not guaranteed of a certain amount at the end of the month. So do I really go for this, or do I stay here? And most people choose to stay because they're comfortable there in the job they're in. They don't want to grow. Because with growth comes what is this? Is the word I'm looking for. But with growth comes what is the word I'm looking for?
Wisdom.
Not wisdom. The reciprocity. But there's a word I'm looking for. Don't mind that. But with growth comes. Okay, let me rather say with growth comes coming out of your comfort zone. Like you have to be willing, to take whatever is gonna come your way after you made the choice to leave your work and pursue your own thing. So most people don't really want to make that choice, that leap, have that leap of faith of, I'm leaving everything behind that I'm currently doing. I'm focusing on this. I'm going all in on this. And
yeah, I get you there. Let me give you an example, a good example, a tangible example that is real. We have graduates.
Yeah.
We have business strategies.
Yeah.
Those people don't own any business.
Yeah.
They are employed by someone to do strategies for their businesses, but they don't have a business.
Yeah.
We have people like the owner of Fruit and Veg.
Yeah.
That guy was born, and he grew until now.
Yeah.
When he was young, he didn't have a business.
Yeah.
He went to school, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, whatever, until he finished the school. We don't know whether he passed or he failed. But what we know is that today he is owning Fruit and Veg. Isn't it? But this Fruit and Veg, he did not grow up with it. But he started it at a later age when his mind was mature. That's when he started. And one thing that we have to know is that fruit and veg did not start as it is today. We know it as big as it is, but it did not start like that. It started small. Then there are a lot of people today who are doing their CVs, doing their applications, sending to fruit and veg, isn't it? So that they can get employed there. Accountants, HR, managers, whatever, every profession. But you see, I just want to show you where why most people fail. Now they send their CVs there. That guy grew up like I am today. He didn't have anything. He started it later after his mindset was mature. And he decided to pursue that. And he focused on that. Now there's fruit and veg. One day I asked this other guy. This other guy is a graduate from the university. He's a graduate. We were just having a conversation. I asked him, but my guy, why is it that you are so educated but you're doing nothing? Why did you go to school? Then he told me that these days things are tough. I've sent many CVs, I've sent many applications, but no response. Yeah, it's good. If there's no employment for you, why don't you create one for others? Then he said, how? I told him that you can go and buy 20 tomatoes, bring them home, sit by your gate, sell those tomatoes. You know what he told me? I can't do that, I'm a graduate. But that same guy, I lied to him. That very same time, I said, because he did accounting. I said, I've forgotten to tell you. Fruit and veg wants an accountant. He did a CV and an application form and he sent them. But he refused to sell tomatoes. That guy in fruit and veg, they sell tomatoes and vegetables. Those are the same things that fruit and veg is selling. So what he didn't want is to sit at the gate. But he preferred to put on a suit and a tie so that he can go and sell the same thing he refused to sell on his gate. You see, that is the other thing that is affecting people. It's because of our education system, how our mindset was tamed. That education system has affected a lot of things in our lives. Because after we are educated, the only thing that we know is to look for a job.
That is true. That is what the system sounds like. After you get your degree or whatever, you're getting a job. Because if you look at it from the time you're in tertiary, let's start from kindergarten, like, you know, your creation, all that stuff. You brought up or you trained in a systematic way for you to become an employee at the end of it, which is university. Like from the time you're young, what do you want to become? Oh, I want to become a this. So already you're being trained, you're being conditioned that, oh no, later on in life, after university, after whatever, I'm going to go and get a job. There's no school of entrepreneurship. Like, okay, yes, you might have some school that is business studies and whatnot, depending on where you are in the world. But here in Africa, there's nothing really. You learn business studies, business, what, but it's not really like opening your mind and your eyes to see, the possibilities of going to entrepreneurship. It's even like in business studies, right? On the subjects of entrepreneurship, you don't really dive deep into the basics of what is an entrepreneur, a person who sees an opportunity, takes the opportunity in the marketplace and whatnot. But they don't really dive deep into it. They don't help you to understand like this is the outcome of an entrepreneur. Anyone can become an entrepreneur, because we also have this thing where we think that entrepreneurship is for certain people. When in fact that is a lie. Entrepreneurship is for everyone. Everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. And even if we want to bring it back to the Bible, where the Lord talks about working with your hands, and He will place the works of your hands. All of us can become entrepreneurs, and we can all become millionaires. I don't really believe that there's this thing of we can't all do the same thing, we won't make money. No, that's a lie.
Yeah, you know what? That statement, we can't all do the same thing. I believe it's true.
Okay.
Because when God created you, me, her, and him, he did not create the same quality. He created different qualities.
Yeah.
So when God created different qualities, it means we also have different purposes. So on those different purposes, my purpose, if I meet my purpose, if I become what God called me to be, my purpose interrelates or it relates to your purpose. I am a manufacturer. You are a wholesaler. She's a retailer. So if I'm a manufacturer, you are going to buy from me. She's going to buy from you. Then she will sell to the end user. You see the circle. So everyone was created to do something different. God did not create two people to do the same thing. Never. People are different. The problem with people is that if I see that Tendai is prospering in podcasts, I will go there. But I'm not a podcaster. I was born a speaker. But now I'm confusing my purpose. So if I confuse my purpose, it distorts the system, the flow
of the system.
So the system becomes distorted, such that there will be a problem somewhere. You understand? So if you are a footballer, I am a swimmer. She's a coach. She's an author. There is a teacher. How many professions do we have in this country? There are countless. So everyone was created to do something different. If you start doing something that is the same as someone, you've lost your line. And you see, the other thing is our education system. Yes, they train us to be entrepreneurs, but our trainers don't tell us that there's no way, there's no day they've told us that after you have completed entrepreneurship, go and practice. They will never tell you that. And even the syllabus doesn't tell you that. There is something that is hidden, meaning to say it is a system that was put in place to make someone subject to someone. Was even our ancestors, they didn't have this syllabus, this school, everything, nothing. They did not have all that, but they had a good life. They were hunter-gatherers. They were farmers. That was all. But all these other things came with this thing of education, this syllabus. That's when our system, that's when our culture started deteriorating. But otherwise, we were good people. We were entrepreneurs, because everyone could take a risk to make sure he succeeds in whatever he's doing. Hunter-gatherers. They never worked for money. They just went into the bush, bring something to eat, and that was all. That's entrepreneurship. That's entrepreneurship. Taking a risk, and he succeeded in whatever he was pursuing. He brought meat, he brought food home. That's entrepreneurship. They went to farm. They did farming. That's entrepreneurship. They did not rely on anyone else. Unlike the current people. We rely on those people from outside. They have to come and invest in this country so that we can get employment. If you didn't get employment, I told this other guy, if you are failing to get employment, if they are not employing you, that's not the end. Because those people who are not employing you are the same as you. Just start something and create employment for others. Start employing others. But you know what we don't want is the beginning. Because everyone doesn't want to start small. Because we think if I start with 3 tomatoes, I may not succeed tomorrow. But why would you want to succeed tomorrow when you don't have anything today?
That's true.
Because those 3 tomatoes are something. You know what foolishness does? Foolishness is what is making people afraid of starting a business. Because people are too foolish that if they start a business today, they sell, let's say from their sales they get something like $50, 50 rand. They take that 50 rand, they go and buy meat. Every day he was surviving on 1 meal. But he is strong, he is healthy on 1 meal. The moment he got that 50 rand from those 3 tomatoes, he went to buy meat. Why would you buy meat? This is a business, and the business has to be treated in a certain way. The one thing that we have to remember as people who want to be in business is that your business is not your pocket. You don't keep your money in your business. Your business has to be treated as a separate entity. It's not part of you. It might be yours, but it's not you. It's yours, yes, because you are the one who started it. But the fact that it's now a business, it means you are now an employee in that business. So if you want money from that business, wait for your salary. Work for it. Make sure the business grows to the point of being able to give you a salary. If your business can't give you a salary, it means you still have to work. You still have to survive on 1 meal. Just to do whatever you were doing all this while before you started a business, so that you can survive this short time the business is growing. But if I get 500 today from the business, it's a lot of money. I will be confused, I will be lost. I'll go and buy jiggies, I'll go and buy sweets, I buy. After the money is finished, that's when I say, oh,
now what?
Hey, what did I do? Then you start blaming other people. Hey, they are bewitching us. We don't. Every time I get money, I don't even know how it got used. But you are forgetting that you took the business and put it in your pocket. Don't make your business a pocket. Your business is not your pocket. Your business is your employer. Respect that. So we don't have respect for what we start. We don't have respect for our own ideas. That is why we end up thinking of going and borrow money to do business. But the other thing that we have to consider is that I can't raise 1,000 today. Then I want to go and borrow 5,000. If I borrow 5,000, there's an interest that is going to be put on top of that 5,000. The interest that is going to be put on that 5,000 is 40 to 50%. Remember, I'm failing to raise 1,000. If I get 100 rand, I won't be able to start. I can't start a business with 100 rand. Why? It's because I have a management problem when it comes to money. So how am I going to manage 5,000 if I can't manage 100 rand? It's very clear that the business is going down. It's going to go down. And I can go and borrow 5,000 while I'm using an iPhone 16. I can go and borrow 5,000 while I'm driving a car. If my idea for sure is that powerful, or if it's worth that 5,000, why not I sell my car, invest into my business, then buy more cars after the business has given me money? The fact that you are not selling your car to start your business means you are doubting your own idea. If you sell your car and know that, I sold my car and I need my car back, you work hard to get back that car. But if you get that 5,000, you might not. And remember, there's 50% on top. First month, if you work, you might get 3,000. After you get 3,000, you have to give 2.5 plus 5,000. Then you give 2.5, you are left with 500. After you are left with 500, that's where you are taking money to do whatever you are doing. Those new things because you've seen money. You were surviving on 1 meal. Now you are eating the whole day from morning to evening because there is money.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because there is money. So if you do that, at the end of the day, you are going to lose that car you didn't want to sell to start your business. Because those guys are going to come for you. Because the following month you are not able, you won't be able to pay the 2.5.
Yeah.
And if you can't pay that 2.5, how are you going to raise 7.5 to give back those people? Because every 5,000 there's 2.5. Every 5,000 there's 2.5. Meaning to say every month you don't give them their 5,000, you owe them extra 2.5. So for them to be quiet, you have to make sure that I give them 2.5 so that they can just put interest on what is left.
Powerful.
So your ability, your money, your intelligence in managing money is what determines the growth
of
your business. And you have to be very much disciplined. Don't start using boat to town because you have started a business. Every day you've been walking there, coming back. You walk there, come back. Maybe you went there 4 or 5 times. But because you have a business, you can't even walk and come back just once. Say it's too hot. But you've been going there, walking, coming back, walking. But that little money you got from those little things you sold, made you something else to change everything. So if you have something that is written, if you have a plan, if you know your thing, if you know your product, you are set. So in short, yes, we've said everything, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to tell people out there is that go pursue your idea, plan, know your client, know your product, know where you want to sell your product, where you want to be stationed, and know how to talk to your customers. I think that's all. And after you have sold to the customer, there is what we call after sales service, whereby you can just contact the customer. How was the product? What so that the customer feels gains trust in you.
So basically like engaging, getting the reviews, like, well, how did you think about our product? Please let us know, all that stuff.
And if you do that, your customers will have trust in your product. Because they know that this guy will sell him to us. He will come back to us. He won't run. He won't go anywhere. Whenever we want him, we can get him because we are always connected. But if I sell to you, then I go.
That's true.
No communication, nothing. You're my customer. And I expect you to come back tomorrow. If this customer is a very good customer, he knows that there has to be communication between the customer and the seller. There has to be a relationship. The relationship between the customer and the seller is not the product, it's not money. But it's something that is for life. And that one has to be maintained. It's maintained by communication. You just have to communicate. You don't have to go and see the customer.
Communication.
Even a message, how are you, how is the product is done. The fact that the customer saw that it's Tendai who sent this message, he will be happy. He can even come back tomorrow. So I think that's all that I have to say to people out there. And to those out there, stay empowered, stay motivated, stay inspired until the next series.
So just to wrap up quickly, what you said, basically, like, to sum it all up, is do your thorough research before going into any business.
That's very true.
That's it. So stay tuned, guys. Stay blessed, stay positive, stay empowered, and catch you next time.
don't forget to be disciplined.